Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to express our thanks to the committee and the moderator for giving me chance to present our results study on medicinal plant utilization for hypercholesterolemia by traditional healers in Java Island. Why hypercholesterol? Hypercholesterolemia is a condition in which total blood cholesterol levels reach 190 milligram per deciliter or more. WHO reported that hypercholesterol is contributed to the incidence of death by 4.5% or about 2.6 million deaths, and it is a risk factor for ischemic heart disease and stroke. Then Indonesia was the second or the third country with a mega biodiversity. From a total of 40,000 species of medicinal plants in the world, it is known that as many as 30,000 species grows in Indonesia. And why we conducted the research in the Java Island? Because we know that Java has a special history about traditional medicine. The greater part of Indonesian knowledge in traditional medicine of plants was influenced by the practice of Javanese in using jamu. So we sure that that Java Island has so many information on traditional medicine and also the medicinal plant. Information regarding the use of medicinal plants for traditional medicine is known and recognized by most of the world's population, and the indigenous traditional knowledge is generally obtained from previous generation and has largely remained undocumented. So we have a big threat on the potency of loss of the traditional local knowledge. So our research problem here is that the data on ethnobotany and ethnopharmacological related to medicinal plant and their use, especially in Java Island, are readily available, but those that specifically identify medicinal plant utilization in ethnics of Banten, Bawean, Betawi, Cirebon, Javanese, Madura, Osing, as well as Sundanese Priangan ethnic groups are not yet available. Therefore, this study need to conduct it to documenting the medicinal plant and herbal formula utilized by traditional healers in prevention and treatment of hypercholesterol, especially in 6 provinces of Java Island, Indonesia. This research was carried out in Banten, Bawean, Betawi, Cirebon, Javanese, Madura, Osing, and Sundanese Priangan ethnic groups in 6 provinces in Indonesia on 2015. The data collecting was carried out by interview, observation, and also medicinal plant sample identification and collection. The interview was conducted using a systematic structured questionnaire to selected traditional health practitioners who met the specified inclusion criteria. This is intended to obtain the data on the traditional healers and also the medicinal plant use, the vernacular name, plant part use, herbal composition, dosage form, and the way of preparation. The traditional healer selection based on purposive sampling method. Information related to the existence of traditional healers was obtained from tribe leaders, religious leaders, communities, and also community leaders in each ethnic group. And then from the result of coordination with them, it was known that there are There are some selected traditional healers who have knowledge and treatment skills using medicinal plant, and its traditional healer should meet the inclusion criteria, including traditional who has the native ethnic or has enculturated and then had both knowledge and expertise on utilizing medicinal plants for healing diseases, and it should be the most well-known healers and have the highest number of patients, and of course should be recognized by the communities. And this is our study results. Here we have information on herbs formula and composition, the medicinal plant use, medicinal plant sources, the vernacular name of each plant, plant's growth form, the plant part used, preparation and the route of administration data collected among selected traditional healers, and also the identified and scientific name of the plant. Totally, we have 109 herbal formula from this study. It was consisting of 38 species, which is distributing within 25 families. And here we have all information about the species identified from its plant family, from Lamiaceae, Menispermaceae, and then Moraceae, Myrtaceae, Pilantaceae, Antirubiaceae, and Rutaceae. Each family has each information on the species, the use value, the plant part, and the way of preparation. This is also the information that we obtained from the study about the family and species identified from Sterculiaceae until Zingiberaceae. I think Zingiberaceae is the last family we have here. From a total of 38 species identified, it was recognized that Guazuma almifolia from family Sterculiaceae was identified as the most prominent medicinal plant, sold by its use value as of 0.625, that was indicated that Guazuma has the optimal benefit value compared to other plants. It was in accordance with some previous research conducted by other researchers that Guazuma have many pharmacological activities such as anti-dyslipidemia, cytotoxic, antibacterial, and others pharmacological activity due to its main constituent that was eugenol. There are several mechanisms of action related to the activity of eugenol as anti-hypercholesterolemia agent, and from previous research, it was reported that eugenol in combination with atorvastatin able to improve superoxide dismutase and catalase activities, as well as lipid profile both in liver and kidney tissues of hyperlipidemia-induced rats. And from a total of 24 plant families identified in the study, it was reported that the Zingiberaceae was the largest group of plant family used by traditional healers here. And this is slightly different from some other research conducted by Islami that reported whether Lamiaceae is the largest family used in Central Sulawesi. But we are in Java Island and not in Sulawesi. So it makes sense that Zingiberaceae is the largest family in the Zingiberales orders, has more than 1,300 species. So we can find it in everywhere because Zingiberaceae families thrive in a various habitats, so it is easy to find and utilize. Now, from the slide, we can see that the medicinal plants utilized in this area were gained from homeyard, buying from market or neighborhood, picking from garden, forest, field, and some other sources. Homeyard was the most accessed place by traditional healers in Java Island for obtaining and collecting the herb sample with the percentage as of 37.6%. We know that each region has its own local wisdom in traditional medicine. This is mostly influenced by various conditions, both cultural, economic, and soil fertility in the area, so that it affects the types of medicinal plants that can grow, develop, and utilized by communities. And then from the study result, it could be seen that the percentage of medicinal plant cultivated and not cultivated by traditional healers, especially in Java Island, was almost the same for about 45%. And this condition was in accordance with some previous study, whereas most people use medicinal plant from cultivation and plant themselves were getting increased. And there was currently an increasing trend of medicinal plant production in ASEAN region, from wild gathering to cultivation system. So the developing medicinal plant cultivation is important. It is necessary in order to support the environment, remain sustainable, and keep the medicinal plants remain. There was various plant part utilized by traditional healers in Java Island. They were leaves, rhizome, fruit, stem, bark, seeds, herbs, stem, pulps, and also the root. And we can see that the leaves was recognized as the most common plant part used with a total percentage as of 34.5%. The utilization of leaves as a plant part is one form of plant conservation effort, because leaf constitute a substantial portion of the biomass produced by plant compared to other parts, and the use of leaves as medicine does not have a negative impact on these plants. Moreover, harvesting the leaves also causes no detrimental effect on the plant compared to other plant parts. Generally, people use medicinal plant for treatment using unstandardized dose and dosage. For example, the use of multiple leaves, a handful of fruits, a finger of rhizome, and so on. Likewise, what happened to traditional healers in several ethnic groups in Indonesia, including those on the Java Island. As with conventional medicine, the accuracy of the ingredients, the doses, the rules of use, the way of preparation greatly affect the effect of the ingredient consumed. And in this research, the most recommended dose for consume the herb was twice per day, as shown in slide, for more than 50%. From all the data, we can conclude that the study clearly demonstrated whether traditional healers had a pivotal role on overcoming ailments and disease, especially for hypercholesterolemia in Java Island, by utilizing medicinal plants with a total number of 38 species classified into 25 families and distributing within 109 herbal formula. And the species with the highest use value is Guazoma ulmifolia, and plant family contribute the most species number was Zingiberaceae. And our recommendation here is that it needs further research, especially for the efficacy and safety of all reported medicinal plants for the phytochemical and pharmacological study in order to provide scientific database as an alternative on drugs development, especially for anti-hypercholesterolemia. Yeah, we would like to fully grateful to all interviewed traditional healers for sharing their valuable indigenous knowledge on traditional medicine using medicinal plants, and also to Medicinal Plant and Traditional Medicine Research and Development Center for the financial support, and of course also to Risto full teams for all substantial and technical support. Thank you. That's all our presentation. Thank you for your kind attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.